I have an old 300D here that is a little sluggish. So we're going to take this thing out on the road right now and just see how slow it is and see if there's any way we can improve it. You know, a lot of people complain about these old diesels being slow. Okay, the odometer is showing 227,000 miles on the engine, although it's not working. So we're not sure how many miles on this old 300D. Now remember, this is a non-turbo. You can tell from the climate control. So I'm going to let it warm up here just a little bit, and then we're going to take it out, and then we're going to do a 0 to 50 mile an hour timing test as a baseline, and then we're going to start poking around and see if we can improve it. One thing we do know, if you have a sluggish diesel, you got to be careful pulling out in front of traffic. So I'm going to have to wait here a little bit until the coast is clear. This is particularly true if you have a 240D. All right, here we go. Baby, accelerate. Now I'm sure some of you are saying, well, Kent, this is a non-turbo, no wonder why it's so slow. But not so fast. I've had non-turbo 300Ds outrun turbo 300Ds. It all depends on the condition and the tuning of the engine. So we're going to get off on a side road here to do this time test. Okay, I'm at a total dead stop. There's no traffic, and I'm going to floor it, and we're going to see how long it takes to get to 50 miles an hour. Now, 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1009, 1010, 1011, 1012, 1013, 1014. There we go. 14 seconds. Okay, now we get to go back to the shop and see if there's any obvious reasons why this is a little sluggish. I'm going to recommend that anytime you're dealing with an old sluggish diesel, and by that I mean it drives like it's dragging an anchor down the road, and I've been in a number of those. You probably have too if you've been around these old diesels, but I always start out with the filters. Let's do something simple, folks. You don't need to rebuild the engine. You can't believe how many times I've seen problems on these old diesels that were simple to solve. And when you're talking filters, you're talking primarily the fuel filters over there, the pre-filter and the main fuel filter and the air filter, okay? And since the air filter is real simple to get to and to work on, let's do that first. I'm not going to do a whole bunch of stuff because we're going to hit the road again and do another 0 to 50 test. So I want to do one thing at a time and then test for improvement. And right now, let's open up this air filter housing and see what this thing looks like. Right away, I'm seeing a couple problems. Number one, the wing nut is missing. Okay. The other thing is that grommet is missing for this vacuum line. Now you might be saying, well, Kent, why is that important? Well, it probably doesn't have anything to do with the power output right now, but it is a problem that I'm going to go over in the next scene. Come on in and let's open this thing up. Well, since there's no wing nut, I don't need to worry about that, but let's pop this breather tube out, and then we'll get the clips off here. Oh, baby. Look at this, folks. This has to be the worst. Yep, I'm going to rate this as the worst I've ever seen, and I've seen some really bad ones in my day. But it's not only the plugged air filter, but look what's inside here. Look at this. I've got junk down on the inboard side of the filter, which means all this stuff has been going down into the engine. So when you look at a filter like this that's this plugged, how in the world is it going to get any air? Maybe, just maybe, this is a reason why this engine is so sluggish. I also mentioned I was going to talk to you about that wing nut. Well, you can see the wing nut holds down tight this section, the center section of the lid, which creates a seal. And if I look here, see, that's not been sealing. And you can look at the filter and you can see the dirt and crud are going right by that lip and right directly into the engine. So we have a couple issues going on here. One is a plugged filter and loss of power, but the more important thing is the dirt getting into the engine, which is going to further wear out the rings and the cylinder walls, and it goes on and on and on. So let's get this cleaned up. I'm going to clean this all up. We're going to install a new filter. I'm concerned that this isn't even the right filter. It may not be seating properly. I've seen that as a problem with a lot of these aftermarket filters. So we're going to put in a genuine German air filter. We're going to check it for tightness, and then we're going to go back out of the road and give this another power test. All right, let me show you the lid here. I put a new seal on here, a new seal on here. This seal was coming off. I didn't have a new one of these, but I used contact cement and re-glued this on this lip here. So now I think I've got this thing all sealed up and we're ready to install the new filter. Sure enough, as I suspected, this filter that I pulled out is really not the right thickness. If you look closely, look at the difference. This is a Mahle filter. And you can see there's considerable difference in thickness. It isn't just the fact that this one's old. And I've seen this before. Do not buy filters from the local auto parts store for your Mercedes diesel engines. And tighten this wing nut down before you hook the clamps. Now you can see that's really sealed on that outer seal lip on the air filter. Now I can drop the clamps down. Remember, this seal is more important than the outer seal. Okay, and I went ahead and installed a new breather tube too, because these things get old and hard. All right. Go. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1009, 1010, 1011, 1000. There we go. We're 50. Just under 12 seconds. Well, at least at speed, you know, when I'm going 50, it doesn't feel like I'm dragging anything. It's not a rocket ship, but we're not done yet. In part 2, we're going to change the fuel filters and do a diesel purge, and we'll come back out on the road and see if we get any improvement from that. Now, I just want you to know that I have all these parts available on my website to take care of your diesel, to restore your air filter housing, and to replace your air filters with quality German spec filters.